So I was recently talking to a dental office and they were seeing almost 100 new patients a month. And guess what? They were doing no marketing. And this was a fee for service office. So it wasn't an insurance driven office. And they were doing absolutely no marketing and seeing 100 new patients a month. So can you actually grow without marketing? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And at the end of the show, I'm actually going to give you a free training on how to train your team to get patient referrals, because that is the secret, is patient referrals. If you can get your patients to refer you enough new patients, then you never have to pay for marketing again. So often I consider myself like a dentist. If you go to the dentist, what do they tell you? They tell you brush, floss, don't eat this, take care of yourself this way. And if you follow their instructions and keep up with general maintenance, you usually don't have to pay a dentist a lot of money. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm literally giving you the playbook on how not to pay people like me. Okay. And so if I was a dentist, this would be the first thing that I would do, and I would implement into my office to get the kind of patient referrals that I want. Now, I will say it's not easy. So stay tuned for this one. I'm going to give you the playbook on it. And at the end, I'm going to give away the free training and I will give you the whole strategy around it. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National that helps offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. And one of the ways to grow is not by marketing, not paying people like me. It's actually through patient referrals. And patient referrals is one of the best kind of patients that you can get. Why? Well, because they trust you. Patient referrals trust you and they want to come into your office and they're ready to buy treatment and they're really easy to work with. You know, some of the best customers that I have are people that were referred to me by other doctors. Why? Because they trust us. The other doctor sold them on the fact that SMC is great and helps their office and help them reach their goals. So then it's much easier for them to come on and work with us. There's just a lot more trust there. And so patient referrals are some of the best patients that you're ever going to get into your office. If you don't answer the phone the first time, they'll call back. If you're not great on the phone, you don't have the best phone skills in the world, they don't care. If they come in and you schedule them 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, they'll still show up. They're not going to no-show. And then when they sit down in the chair and you give them all these different treatments, they're going to do a lot of them. And it is just so much easier to deal with patient referrals. And so today, I am going to give you the strategy, the 6 things that you have to have in place to be able to get patient referrals. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to give you a free training that you can use to train your team to implement all these strategies, okay? And I have a several-hour course that actually teaches this. And this is normally $500, $600 for this course, but I got it for you for free. So hop in. Comment below if you love patient referrals. If you love patient referrals, comment below. And then let's jump in to the strategy. So first is you have to have a good patient experience. The only way to really get a lot of patient referrals is you have to have an amazing patient experience. What does that mean, a patient experience? Some call it a patient journey. Some call it a patient experience. This is really everything. This is like the most important thing. And there's a problem inside of dental, and here's the problem. Most dentists don't realize how much of a pain it is to come into their office. What do I mean by that? Just call your office sometime. Over the next couple weeks, just block your number and just call a couple times and watch what happens. First of all, you're going to notice that you don't answer the phone. Then you're going to notice that sometimes your front desk is a little bit snappy. And then you're going to notice that you don't have any available spots. Or when you ask about treatment, your team's not going to know about it. Those kind of things, that's just the front end. Then you get into the patient comes in to the office for their 11 o'clock appointment, and you don't see them until 12:30. That ticks patients off, right? It ticks doctors off. When I've seen posts online where doctors talk about how much they hate waiting at the doctors, right? So no one likes waiting like that when you tell them to be there at 11 and they don't start until way later. So that's a problem. Then sometimes patients are not, no one takes the time to explain things to them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? All of these things have to be thought through, all the way from the billing, all the way to the first phone call. All of that has to be thought through. And the problem in dental is like no one really owns that, right? It's a very compartmentalized. each part of the journey is owned by somebody else. And a lot of times the team member is not thinking about the next part of the journey. So there's like double filling out paperwork, or, you told this person this, and then you have to tell them again over here. Like no one's actually thinking about this stuff. So you got to be able to nail that down. That's number one. Patient experience must be on point to get patient referrals. And I have a whole course down below. Just comment, and it helps you with build your whole patient experience. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you got to be able to turn your patients into advocates. Okay, so here's the truth. Here's the honest truth. I go out to eat at a nice restaurant, and the food's delicious. The service is good. My first instinct is, man, I should leave them a review. I should leave them a positive review so they can get more business. However, in dental, if you have great customer service and everything's on point, no one thinks, oh, I should leave them a good review. No one. Like, people don't think that. The only time people think about leaving a dentist a review is when they do something bad, when they have a bad experience and they want to leave a negative review. This is a big problem, okay? And and in marketing companies the same way. No one goes, if you work with me, you don't think, man, they're killing it, I'm going to go leave them a Google review. We just don't think that way, right? You have to be asked to leave a Google review. And you have to be asked to post on social media. So most people are not just going to do that, right? There's exceptions, but most people aren't. 99% of people aren't going to go out of their way to do that. So there's actually techniques that you use to turn patients into advocates. And in this course, the free course down below, I'm going to give you how to do that, how to actually work with your team to be able to do that. The other thing that's going to be in the course, number 3, is how to gain access or how to gain confidence to asking for the referral. So there's the patient journey that has to be built out. Then there's turning the patients into advocates. And then there's also the timing of when you ask the patient for the actual referral, because it's one thing to turn them into an advocate. It's another thing when to actually time that and ask for the referral. So we have that in there, and there's a whole training on that for you and your team, because it's not a one-man show to be able to do this part. Then number 4, motivating your team to drive referrals. Okay, this is a big one. So patient referrals are awesome, but it really just means extra work for your team. Think about that. It really just means extra work for your team. So you are just driving more work for your whole team when you get more patient referrals. Now for you, you're happy, you're excited because you're getting patient referrals, and it means more money for you, but it doesn't actually mean anything but more work for your team. So we're going to talk about, in this course, have a whole system for you where you can actually get your team motivated and excited for patient referrals, just as excited as you. And guess what that does? It helps fix your patient journey. It helps turn your patients into advocates. It helps your team ask for the referrals, right? This is really the grease that gets the whole system working properly, okay? And then lastly, the last thing in this course, in this free course, is we're going to talk about how to boost your Google reviews and use your Google reviews to get more patient referrals. And the reason this is so key is that if somebody isn't ready to refer you a patient yet, at least get a Google review out of them. If you can get a Google review out of them, that's like patient referrals at scale. What does that mean? Well, if you have a happy patient and they go tell one person that they're happy, that's great, and you might get one patient from that. But if someone's a happy patient and they go leave a Google review, you might be able to get 10 patients from that. Now, you need both, right? You need both happening at the same time, but they work in conjunction with each other. Because if you refer somebody, if you told me, hey, go to ABC Dental, they're amazing, the first thing I'm going to go do is look at their Google reviews. And so you got to have the Google reviews to get the patient referrals, and you got to have patient referrals to get the Google reviews, if that makes sense. So we're going to go over that as well. And all of this is for free. So this can be done. You can grow your practice and get enough new patients to where you never have to pay for dental marketing again, but there's a lot of nuances to it. So that's why we have this training for you. Normally it's $599. If you comment below, just comment below and we'll drop the link for you and give you access to that. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure you like this video. Give us a thumbs up and comment below if you're on Facebook. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.